So good day everyone. This is Mr. Saratao, your discussant this morning. So in this presentation, I will discuss to you what is brainstorming. So before we will go deeper to our topic, so first we will define what is brainstorming. So when we talk about brainstorming, it is a group discussion to produce ideas or solve problems, so that uh, so through brainstorming, no, it can generate a wonderful idea. So we will not depend on one ideas, but rather we should always consider the ideas of others to create a one idea. So when we talk about brainstorming, it is a method of generating ideas, goals, and strategies that help identify and conceptualize problematic situations. That is according to Don on 1981, 1 to 8. So it is a quantitative method of policymaking using expert ideas on a particular phenomenon. So when we talk about expert opinion, this method of policymaking, as the name implies, utilizes the opinion of experts. So when we talk about experts, this refers to the people who have gained sufficient experience and information. So they are we talk about experts. This refers to the people who are interested and has skills have a enough skills, no, in a particular area of the study, so on a specific area of concern. So a group of experts is organized into a panel or committee to discuss and come up with the common ideas on the probable events to occur using their respective knowledge, skills, and experiences on the subject. So when talk about expert's opinion, it is an opinion of someone who have an enough skills, not enough knowledge for a concerned specific area of the study. So next, the process is referred to as the focus group discussion. So the practice of creating different committees in the legislature is founded in the principle behind this method. So this refers to the method of uh, this refers to the method no this method so this method I am referring to, I will show to you later on the next slides. So it is assumed that committee members are more knowledgeable on issues that fall in the area of specialization than other legislators. So through this model or through these methods, now uh, it 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 believes that the knowledge on a particular issues of uh, of that area, no, particular area, especially specialization, the committees are believed that has more skills that are expert enough now compared to the other legislators, which creates, when we talk about legislators, these are the actors in the government, in the legislative branch of the government, that creates laws and regulations and implement to the public, which guides every actions of its constituents in a particular areas within a nation. So next, description of the problem to be discussed. So here we will talk about the problem now that needs to be discussed. So uh, if we talk about if we're referring to the public policy, just for an instance, there is a policy agenda, which is the policy process. So before we can create a particular policy, so it will undergo a discussion, it will undergo a deliberation from different representatives coming from different provinces. uh, they will discuss, they will deliberate. Now it is an open a type of discussion, which they can address questions now on a particular author of a particular policy, just for an instance. So in this here in the description of here in the description of a problem to be discussed, so we need to clear the problem we are facing. So we need to specify, we need to know, we need to familiarize what this kind of problem, so that we can easily come up with a solution regarding on that problem arise. So then we can solve problems and quickly generate as many ideas as possible, di ba? So if we are going to really familiarize, really know what these problems, then we can easily generate many ideas as possible in order to solve a particular problems that arise in a particular uh, organization or society as a whole. So next we have Delphi technique. So when we talk about Delphi technique, it is another qualitative method of policy making. So we talk about qualitative method. Uh, this referring to more on wordings or something more on numbers, solving, in order uh, to acquire the expected outcome that we are expecting to happen. Okay, so which make use of the opinions of experts. So here in the Delphi technique, it's always consider the opinion of an expert. No, so the main difference between the Delphi technique and the expert's opinion method is the manner of obtaining expert ideas. While in the expert opinion method, the pool of experts holds group discussion on the topic. So in the Delphi technique, they do not meet as a group. This method is specifically described as follows. So the method generally begins with hiring to provide individual forecast along with any supporting arguments and assumptions. So when we talk about forecast, this is another term of forecast or synonyms of forecast. This is referring to predicting, no, predict the future, support arguments and assumptions. So we talk about assumptions. This is a self-prevailing truth. So yeah. Next, these forecasts are submitted to the Delphi technique researcher who edits, clarifies, and summarizes the data. So after we forecast, now we will submit it to the Delphi researchers or the Delphi experts, the Delphi actors who are uh, given an authority to clarify and summarize the data that was being gathered. So this data is provided a feedback to the experts along with a second round of questions, and feedback continue for several rounds, becoming increasingly more specific until consensus among the panel members is reached. So, diba, we talk about this process. It is not only once, it is not only twice, it is not only twice, but it will undergo many times in order to see every gap, every loopholes of a particular policy, a particular problems, to be solved easily, quickly. We will it considers the questions, the feedback, of the citizens of a particular area which the policy are intended to implement on. So next we have fundamental choice model. So the fundamental choice model is one of the descriptive models in decision making. So it portrays the consequences of a particular action based on the alternatives. So when we talk about alternatives, it is not only a one way not to solve a problem, but it is we are referring to plan A or plan B. If a plan A will not work, then of course we will proceed to the plan B. So the plan B might be a perfect solution, a perfect way, a perfect avenue or mechanism to solve a particular problem that problem A cannot give a solution with. So it looks at a problem in terms of two primary elements of an action. So what I've said a while ago, no, it will considered uh, it has two choices. So the alternatives available to the decision maker and his preferences among their alternatives. So here is the policymaker and the competing pressures. So first we have the high authority. Now first in related policy making rules, the clients, subordinates, friends and family, and interest groups. So here now we can see that even our friends and family can create a policy. Even our clients, subordinates, interest group, everyone can create a policy. So di ba, in policy, in a public policy, the streets are considered as the uh, an avenue, no, to create a policy. So if the streets uh, will protest, will educate the public, if they will not agree on the policy that the government wanted to implement, so they will do a protest, no, in a positive way. So next, notwithstanding the competing pressures influencing the preferences of policymaker, we would like to insist on the objectivity of the preferences. An objective function is a complete formalized defection of a decision makers. So the preference is an explicit statement of how each consequence contributes to the overall indicators of the choice, desirability. It is determined by assigning weight to each attribute and then determine which among them have greater desirability. It should be mentioned that before assigning with the attributes, the policymaker should clearly define who are his target clients. So here it is the formula, no, in the solving of total number of hours, the tennis courts, the basketball courts. So in the book it has a situation, no, an example on how we can get the number of hours. So before we can find the maximum total hours for recreation, just for an instance, we have to determine the probable combination of three courts to be constructed. So there are four probable combinations in the construction, and these are alternatives. So A3 basketball courts and 0 tennis court, B3 tennis courts and 0 basketball courts, C equals 2 basketball courts and 1 tennis court, D equals to tennis courts and 1 basketball courts. So assuming that the total daylight hours per week is equal to 70 hours, now we can solve for the total recreation hours for every playground configuration from A to D. So alternative A, which is the 3 basketball courts and 0 courts, as what I've shown to you a while ago, h equals 4 times, no, plus 10 times times 30, and 0 times 70 plus 30 or times 70 equals 0 plus 2100 or equals 2100. So alternative B, the 3 tennis courts and 0 basketball courts, so each equals 4 times 3 plus 10 times 0. So times 0 equals 12 times 70 plus 0. So times 70. So 12 times 70 equals 840 plus 0. Therefore, the answer is 840. So here is the alternative C, 1 tennis courts and 2 basketball courts. So each equals 4 times 1, 10, 4 times, so 4 times 70 plus 20 times 70. So 280 plus underline 1.400 or 1400 equals 1680. So alternative D, 2 tennis courts and 1 basketball courts. So each equals 4 times 2 plus 10 times 1 times 70. So 80 times 70 plus 80 times plus 10 times 70 minus 560. Therefore, it is 700 equals 1260. So that is the way now in computing our hours, no, per hours, depending on the situation. So that's all. Thank you. I hope you can get useful knowledge from this presentation, and if you have any question, so please don't hesitate to ask me so I can rely my knowledge to you. That's all. Thank you.